Hold up. Let me make sure I'm seeing this right. Hold on. Oh, that'll do. Let me hold that. Hold. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Damn! That's not a bad day. Ooh, baby. Holy Toledo. Not a bad freaking... We were down at one point, like 10, 11, 12%. Finishing green. I'll take that all day. Baby. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Trey's Trades. We freaking talk fast and don't skip class. I like to preface by saying that I'm not a financial advisor nor expert. So, take what I say with a grain of salt. Let's get into the video. So, today, my friends, my family, my fellow gorilla gang, we're going to be talking about ticker symbol AMC here, giving you the usual update, talking about the Ortex data, short volume percentage ratio, or I want to talk about stock on tracker, the call options that are in the money, as well as about how many available shares there are to borrow. Finish off with the technical analysis. I gotta slow down. You always know it's a good day when I start talking 2 times as fast as I usually do, and then, that will leave you some parting words. So, without further ado, my fellow apes, my King Kong loving motherfuckers, let's do this. I'm just gonna start off here with Ortex. So, the short interest went down just a little bit here today, down about 1.54%. Nothing to be worried about. It's doing this thing, right? The back and forth. Estimated short interest of free flow, currently sitting at about 18.56, and yesterday was at 18.85. So it went up yesterday a decent little chunk from 18.24 to 18.85, 0.5% change. Currently sitting at 94.92 million total shares. Short interest, according to 85% of the exchange reported data, right? If there's any sort of malreporting that takes place, that can be thought of essentially as financial fraudulence, right? Some sort of manipulation, corruption, bad stuff, right? That's where the IOUs, naked shorts, all the sort of bad practices that are taking place in the stock market that we're exactly talking about happen, right? On top of that, you've got failure to deliver, which are derived from call options that are expired in the money, they don't get delivered on, yada, yada, yada. We know there's a shit ton of those as well. And that's what's really happening here in AMC stock, right? It's doing this. It's doing the up and down, up and down. I want to talk about this a little bit because this is something I find very peculiar, is this sort of Tesla-like squeeze, because the short interest on AMC has always been, kind of floating around this area, and whenever it goes down, it goes right back up, right? And it continues a slow and steady climb with nice, huge, volatile freaking rips up, followed by some dips, and then the trading sideways. And you're watching that happen right now, even with the fact that we dropped down momentarily to about $39 or so. So that's a pretty beautiful thing to see, right? Short interest, absolutely beautiful. There could be many more. I do believe there are a lot of naked shorts out there. A tangible amount, we don't know. There's no way to validate or prove that substantially in any sort of way. Failure delivers, also there. So let's look at the short sale volume percentage. I think this is a good way to get a sort of a pulse on the shorting that's taking place in the market on any given day. And it's found on bottom at about 38% on the 6th, which would have been Tuesday. So yesterday, Wednesday, we had about 39%. So it's found that nice ground floor, even Steven sort of area. A lot of heavy short selling that took place between the 25th and I would argue the 30th. So if you go back and look at the chart here, I just want to show you what that time period would have looked like. 25th right here through the 30th. You had, honestly, a lot of strength. The stock actually went up during that heavy short selling period of time. So any sort of shorts that were established in this area right here, between the 25th and the 30th, how many of those guys are positive right now? There could be some, right? There could be some, but should that scare you? No, because the short interest is still exponentially high, and they could have actually been scalp shorting the stock, right? This doesn't tell you whether or not people are holding the stock that shorted it that day. It just says that there was shorting taking place. So that's something to consider. Short interest, shorting taking place, all there, right? The setup is there. And you can think of this essentially as the raised ceiling. It raises the opportunity for the freaking longs, the apes here, to make their big, fat, stupid tendies when the tendy man comes to crack down on Hedgie-chan. That's what it really is. Shares available to borrow about 1.8 million. Floating around that same sort of level, but a good thing to see is the utilization is at about 89.92%. Starting to make a little bit of a push up, right? Up about 3.56%, which means that shares on loan is going up. I say this because that means that there are going to be more shares available to borrow. There are more shares available on loan, right? Because you can think of this as a 2-step process. Shares on loan equals more shares that are available for shorts to establish short positions from lenders, right? Lenders can short into the market, or they can borrow out to other people who are lendees that want to short into the market. It's entirely up to the people who took those shares out on loan, essentially borrowing stock that they do not have, and that creates this feedback loop process where shorts get sent into the market. That's why they've got about 1.8 million available to borrow, and that's why the cost to borrow is also not extremely high, because the utilization isn't maxed out. There are shares available to borrow. That cost to borrow and that demand is going to go up as this gets more risky, right? It's this ebb and flow. And I want to show you this to a T with this cost to borrow sort of metric right here. Now let's just check this out. When we had that huge run up to about $72, you had, a lot of confirmation biases leading up to that point, which is why I said, that I thought you were going to see a nice push, honestly, the squeeze in May or June. Was I correct in saying the squeeze in May and June? No, but did we get a nice push, which can be considered a small, mini squeeze where shorts did cover positions? Yes. And once that Casa bar goes back up, that's another confirmation that you're pushing in the right direction to get another sort of nice, decent move like that. So be watching for it. Casa bar will go up as there are less shares available to borrow when the utilization starts to go back up, which it is starting to do now. Now, beautiful thing we have on the technical analysis, my friends, is that we got that bounce off of $41. I gotta be real with you. I've said this before, I'll say it again. This was a coin flip. It was a coin flip. You could have seen this drop down below 40 bucks, and if it sold off, it would have hit down at 30, 32 bucks. It extends the timeline. You get some people out there who get a little bit frustrated, a little bit emotional, right? It's a tough time. You have to weather that, but it didn't happen. We got the more bullish scenario, which was something that I predicted in yesterday's video as a possibility, is that bounce off at $40. Did I think you'd get a 20% plus bounce? Nope, not a chance. Not a chance, Jackie Chan. Oh, geez, gotta slow down. I almost choked on my spit again. But we're sitting at $48.86 here with a bounce off of $39. Now that's an $11 swing at the peak of the day, which was about 50 bucks. Beautiful. That's a picture perfect bullish bounce, and you're going to really see that here with the daily candles. Now check this out. This is an engulfing candlestick pattern. That's beautiful. That rejection here is a really good thing. True, we did end up breaking beneath this bull flag pennant, right? This overall huge ascending level of support, which did mean you're going to see a little bit of a sell-off in the coming days, which did happen, right? That's something you were prepared for. It was something that was a possibility, and it came to fruition. Now that you're ready for it, you knew you could expect a pretty decent dip buy. But that was an opportunity right here if you were long on the stock and you're looking for that freaking 10-town squeeze, baby. So that was beautiful. Hopefully some people out there caught that $39, $40 dip. If you made some cash on that, you're holding some shares. Cowabunga, my friends. That is what's up. I'm freaking jacked for you. Beautiful thing to see. And that's what you're looking at right now in terms of the technical analysis. So what do you want to see in the following day? You want to see the volume continue to follow through, because the volume today was beautiful. 144 million shares of total volume, which was a lot higher than the previous couple days. And notice this. You see this beautiful sort of bowling out formation, right? Where it had this downtrend, smoothed out for a bit, and now it's going back up. You can think of this very similarly to sort of a cup or a handle in a cup and handle formation, where you can expect this nice incline in terms of how volume ends up revving. So you're getting that, man. I mean, look at the overall trend. You can see it. You don't have to know a lot about how charts work or technical analysis works to see that the volume starting to pick back up. Volume brings volatility. Volatility brings higher price valuations if it's followed back by buying pressure. So that's what you're watching for, is that nice volume push over 100 million shares of total volume to continue on that trend. I think I'm more inclined to believe you're going to have a green day tomorrow. And I've said this before, right? When I think it's going to be a red day, I'll just tell you. When I think it's going to be a green day, I'll just tell you. And I think you're more inclined to believe and see a green day come in the next trading day, especially considering that we had such a beautiful day. We're up 2.44% in the after hours right now, just pushed over $49. A nice clean move over 50 bucks, my friends, is going to bring you to the next level of resistance, which is right around here. Man, that's crazy. That's so cool. About $52.50, and it could easily crush that. So the reason I think you saw such a nice move from $40 all the way up to almost $50, because there's not a lot of price action here. Most of the price action was very volatile. There's not a lot of floor. And when there's a lot of floor, a lot of consolidation, a lot of this stuff, it takes more time and more pressure to break through those walls. Well, there's a lot of walls here, right? Not a lot of price action between these zones, which is why it was easy to knock down. So you're watching for, if we break 50 bucks, hold 50 bucks, 52.5-ish dollars as the next level of resistance, until you get to the top of that overall trading zone, which is $60, right? Right back to square one. It just gave you a nice freaking cheap, tasty discount to buy some shares at. And if you were able to, freaking congratulations. I mean, that's almost half price. 60 bucks compared to 39, half price. I've said this on Twitter. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Price is psychological. If you think a stock is worth X, but it's actually trading at X minus Y, why get worried, man? I don't even mean that pun. Why get worried? You shouldn't be. You should be getting excited, rubbing your freaking hands together, going, let's eat this fear, man, because that's what this was. I understand. Hard times come. You gotta weather hard times. If you have true conviction, you've done your research, you know the price that you're willing to sell this at, you just gotta hold it on, man. You gotta be patient. And this is the game of patience. It is, right? Get excited, be happy about green days, but also be ready to weather red days because you're gonna have more of those. You're gonna have more green days, you're gonna have more red days. They all make the journey freaking beautiful and sweet, and that's kind of what I've got for this entire video. I want to finish this off by just talking briefly about my medical stuff because I don't want a pity party at least bit. That's why I saved it for the end of the video, but I do need to say this because I have to prioritize myself to some extent. My medical situation is really complex, and there's a real risk of me going blind. I have to admit that. I gotta be real. And top that off with essentially my heart problems that I've been dealing with. There's a lot of stuff on my plate right now. So if I'm not as active on Twitter, and I'm not as active on YouTube, I'm not putting out 2 videos a day, maybe some days I only put out 1. So I'm gonna try most days to get out 2, but some days I might only put out 1. Maybe it'll be a day where I miss, you know? Understand where that's coming from. I can't give anything to you if I'm not giving anything to myself. You know, I can't, if I have nothing left to give, there's nothing there. I'd much rather provide you guys real valuable, you know, information, myself, real valuable me, so that you guys are pulling something away from that, you know? I'm doing my best to really keep to grips and handle the situation, but there's hard times, you know? So all that I ask for is some understanding if I'm not online as much some days. You know, I'm not even saying I'm gonna just freaking drop off the planet, but that's something I need to kind of, you know, put out there because it's legit. It is, you know, I'm actually a little bit nervous. I'm nervous with how this uveitis stuff is going, and it's a lot of appointments, a lot of medical, you know, I've been in and out of doctor's offices literally the last 5 straight days. It's a lot of stuff, so patience, some understanding. 95% of people are awesome about that, and I don't even know why I'm bringing it up. Maybe just because I'm worried about it. But nonetheless, that's the last little piece I want to put out about this video, and that's what I've got for you guys. So blah blah blah. I know this video. Drop a like and subscribe. If you want to be my friends, catch you on the next one. Light taps, a little heavier light taps. No, lighter taps. Shit. All right, catch you on the next one. Much love and peace.